to the Deltahead stream. I am James Howell, and tonight we're doing part 11, the final battle in our Village of Shadows run of Resident Evil Village. We got to the beginning of the part where we resume control of Ethan, and just amazed at how everything that feels like it should be uphill after that fight with Moreau winds up being a pretty easy, well, I won't say easy, but pretty even challenge. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to kind of have a similar time with Miranda tonight. And then once that is done, assuming there is still time left on the stream, we typically go for 2 hours, and I've got some Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain that I'm revisiting, so that'll be fun to jump into to kind of fill out that time. But so yeah, excuse me, pre-game show here. Got a couple of... I walked into Scarecrow Video today, and I got to tell you, it was a wonderful thing to be able to walk into that store. Wonderful experience. Got Sleepy Eyes of Death, which is a samurai movie starring Raizo Ichikawa, who is a favorite. He has a bit part in a Kabuki Actor's Revenge, kind of a comedic role, because he has he can be very animated and has a lot of very big energy, big gestures when he's called upon. But he's also known to some of the first Jidaigeki movies I ever watched, which was the Shinobi no Mono series, where he plays in the first 2 installments the legendary ninja Goemon, and attempting to assassinate what's his name? One of the early shoguns. Oh, it's right on the tip of my brain. I'm sure I'll remember it later. Anyway, yeah, so that series is a lot of fun. Evening Time Zombie, it's good to see you. Hope you made it back home okay. Time Zombie and I had the pleasure of a good hangout and a walk this afternoon. But yeah, so Raizo Ichikawa is going to be a fun guy to revisit. And also this, Street Fighter, which is Sonny Chiba's first, I believe his first movie where he got to sort of flex, pun unintended, but kept, flex his fight choreography skills and special effects, special stunt effects. Oh yes, I am. I am both. Honestly, the meat form is in the other room, and this is a projected visual that I use to keep my online presence fresh while my body rests in its coffin. So, but thank you for confirming that the ruse has worked. In fact. But yeah, no, Sonny Chiba's a lot of fun. Oh man, I think I want to find this excerpt. It's from... Oh, I know the movie. I can see it in my head. He does this thing where it's like a direct sword stab in one of these movies, but he does this sort of weird skewer thing that I had to pause it and actually rewatch it frame by frame to see exactly what the hell he does. And it's so good. I'm going to go back and I'll find that. I'll put that up on Twitter. I think that anybody who enjoys Sonny Chiba or any kind of sort of Dorian Gray, well, actually, I mean, honestly, you could probably do a pretty neat Black Mirror-esque hologram version of Dorian Gray. I don't know, maybe something like with his social media, right? The social media profile ages while he, retains his business, his youth, but yeah, no. So I'll find that. I'll look for that. Otherwise, continuing to read, kind of in step with that theme, Confessions of a Yakuza, which is continuing to be very, very, very picturesque. It's really interesting to see how much you see this picture of sort of like the gang life, gang identity in some of Kurosawa's movies, some of the Jidaigeki ones, where in particular I'm thinking Yojimbo, where Mifune's character Sanjiro walks into town, kind of your Western hero swagger, and there are a bunch of sort of bandits gambling, and they're not called out as like Yakuza per se, but that apparently is where a lot of that sort of like behavior and that sort of like social grouping began. That sort of gambling, and makes a much more central role in this than I would have expected. And also, good evening, Iceman Dan. I realize I'm responding to you without greeting you. So yeah, so this is entertaining, and I do recommend it to anybody who enjoys sort of that period of sort of transition from one version of culture to another. I received a bunch of these. I've got 10 new ones of these today. Not today, but over the past couple of weeks. God bless them, beloved pulp science fiction from the 60s and 70s. And this one has one of my favorite Ray Bradbury short stories, apparently in its first publication, Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And it is a very pleasing feeling to see, I think Bradbury was called the poet of the pulps. And it is wonderful to see some of the first times these stories saw the light of day, and kind of, I don't know, kind of hunker down and kind of put myself back in that mindset of thinking like this is a new discovery. And yeah, of course. There you go. A lot of the, a lot of the art on these is very detailed, very intricate, and let's see if I can find another instance. I guess actually, I don't know if they do that for. They don't do that for every. They don't do that for every story that's in here. So I guess it's pretty a sign of how much they viewed that story as kind of a centerpiece, that they gave it a not merely an illustration but a spread as well. Yes, yeah, he does. He plays a wayward yakuza who is potentially reformable, but ultimately in the end a victim to his excesses. One of these. Actually, that character kind of feels like a Kinji Fukasaku character, which I read a description of Kinji Fukasaku's movies, which for as weird and as different, weird in the sense of weird in the sense of different from each other as they are, the thing that sort of binds them together is they all feature key characters who are unable to change, and whose actions that lead them through the end of the movie are the result of a personality that is sort of rigid and not susceptible to being moved. And that kind of holds out, and I kind of feel like Mifune's character in Drunken Angel kind of gets close to that, except Kurosawa is much more hopeful, I think, and allows that sort of a little more flexibility there. But yeah, oh no, I also like this. This is a kind of great cover illustration. And yeah. No, I really like Shimura, Takashi Shimura. His drunken doctor is a really well played sort of like high functioning alcoholic character. So you can see the alcoholism in the way that he behaves and the way that he carries himself, and sort of the outbursts of emotionality. And you can also see the person that addiction that is sort of propping up as a very good heart. So I really like that character because it doesn't do an easy thing of pairing an alcoholism with a character lesson, but with somebody who has a genuinely good heart and whose heart is not inhibited by that habit. Yeah. Excuse me. Another round? No, I have not. I've actually never heard of that before. That is interesting to me because your recommendations have always been spot on. Yeah. So, oh yeah. One of the things about this that I've noticed this with several of these pulps from this era. The advertising game in this is surprising because, let's see, the very first ad that you always get to is this. The Unpublished Facts of Life, which is kind of a secrets entrusted to a few. Let's see, there are some things that cannot be generally told. Things you ought to know. Great truths are dangerous to some, but factors for personal power and accomplishment in the hands of those who understand them. Behind the tales of the miracles and mysteries of the ancients lie centuries of their secret probing into nature's laws, their amazing discoveries of the hidden processes of man's mind, and the mastery of life's problems. Once shrouded in mystery to avoid their destruction by mass fear and ignorance, these facts remain a useful heritage for the thousands of men and women who privately use them in their homes today. And this goes into, the Rosicrucians. They now invite you to share their practical helpfulness of their teachings. And so there's that, and then the back cover advertisement is this: how to get your CPA. This free sample lesson can start you in a high-paid career as accountant, auditor, or CPA. So it just kind of whiplashes back around to evening Rio. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you chimed in and said hi. I always appreciate knowing that that folks enjoy it on the VOD, and yeah, thank you very much. That means a lot. I hope you have a good night as well. And if you're able to stick around, please feel free to chime in and chat. Chat's a great group of folks. No, I will check out another round since I am back on an MGS5 kick. My mind is going back to the upcoming director's cut of. Postman, the adventure, Death Stranding. That's it, and Mads Mikkelsen and all that, and sort of comes back around. Other than that, I've got and I've continued to dig back into this Avon Boland's The Historians poems, and these are lovely works. Avon Boland is. She's an Irish poet, and her poetry achieves the same beautiful, just like bell-ringing clarity of imagery and diction that I associate with other Irish poets like Seamus Heaney, and it manages to simultaneously have a universality to its English that feels accessible, that feels like it could possibly be American. It doesn't feel alien or foreign. Yet at the same time, there is absolutely a place and time that it exists, and a perspective that it has that it owns, and that is a rare thing to find for a reader of my place and time. And we'll share with you 3 stanzas that I like from a poem called "The Lamplighter," and this is referring to the man who would go down the street with a kind of a lit wick, light the gas lamps. Let's see. I read once that when he heard loud whispers and laughter in alleys and hidden doorways, followed by the silence of illicit kisses, he would not stop, he would pass on, to other streets where light was needed, leaving behind him the gift of shadows. And I think that's just beautiful. That's just like, the diction is so clear, it sounds like speech, it feels like the kind of rhythm of poetry, and and the imagery is crisp. You can create it in your head, and you create it in your head in such a way that's uniquely yours, and that's a precious gift. So yeah, Avon Boland, highly recommend. The Celebration, I will look into that as well. Thank you for all these recommendations. I am very fortunate to have them. So yeah, okay, I think this is a good time to go ahead and get started and see if we can beat Miranda. Oh. Pardon me. Alright, that should get us where we need to be. Oh, right, I need to get chat up on a device that's not my computer. Let's see if my iPad wants to be nice to us now. Alright, friend. What are your thoughts and feelings on functioning as a pastime? Alright, that's cool. That is also cool. I'm concerned I might have to go back to my phone, which, I mean, we can do. It's just a little more cumbersome. Alright, that might be what we gotta do, unfortunately. Would be awesome if I could have a second monitor set up, but that, I fear, also requires a second desk, and this place is pretty crammed, as you can probably see from the that's behind me there. Let's see, there we go. Bonk. Bonk. And you need to fix that later. I am heartbroken to discover that for the first time in years, I missed Summer Games Done Quick. Well, there we go. Okay, good. There we go. Now I can see chat, and that's good. All right. Yeah, here we go. And I actually had to not play this at all in the interim between last stream and now because the only thing holding me to the only thing that kept my save past Chris's section is the autosave, and if I played it on any other difficulty with any other save, it would right over that. Yeah, I know. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It's like a personal holiday, and Stream Regular Swimmy mentioned that the blindfolded Super Mario 64 run is worth a watch. And I also saw that somebody speed ran Portable Ops, which is kind of exciting. I don't think that game gets the kind of love that it deserves for its place in leading up to the gameplay that works in Metal Gear Solid 5. Excuse me. But I'm interested in going back to that. That is either a big hand for Rose or a small hand for Mia. That went down there. Oh, interesting.
I gotta go.
All right, here we go. What's this? Ammunition? Do not mind if I do. Let's see. Oh, weird. Can I access the merchant from here? Hold on a second. I gotta reduce some glare by turning off a lamp. Oh. Goodness, walked around in some woods today without Zyrtec, and now I'm out at home. Thank you, Time Zombie. Yes, I do. In fact, you know, try to clean up a little bit. If this is going to be a version of me that is recorded for posterity, would hate for you know, the event of, you know, record destruction, etc., etc., and this being one of the few things left, and then people just concluding, wow, what a scruffy bunch they were. Oh, excellent. Interesting. I don't think I already noticed this before, but this is one of Chris's team's boxes with the with items set out aside. That's neat. Oh, and there is a typewriter here. I don't know. I think every day. I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask and how snarky they want to be, whether or not any day is a bad hair day. I'm actually really curious to see how Portable Ops gets spad run. That's not the place you change the vowel for making a past tense, but that's where I'm going to go with. See, I remember. I think there are a bunch of fellas that kind of fall out of the 10 frame rate per second wiggly worms there, and I'm just going to run past them. But real quick on the note of tenses, I think it's interesting. A lot of present tense words like speed, or well, what's an example? Well, I'm not thinking of an example. Anyway, the vowel sounds are kind of in the front of the mouth in English, and the past tense versions, the vowel sounds are in the back of the throat, and I think that's neat. Spud run. Oh, thank you. Evening, Mexican Sting. It's great to see you, and I hope you have a great evening. And no, I got to see Time Zombie's homemade haircut today, and it's good work. Certainly better than I've been able to manage. Let's see, let's run through here. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah, that's an ammo sink. So I think I should be in pretty good shape here. want to go ahead and just kind of get this in order. Do I have any flashbangs? That is a question I'm asking myself, because there is a point where I will want them. That's a pretty good amount of fire. Alright. Well, what I'm just gonna do, I'm pretty good on health. I'll just save that herb and see if I need to make it mid-fight. Yeah, after having grown my hair out for much of the pandemic, I decided to just kind of roll with it and had it cut in such a way that it's a little cleaner. I'll revisit that in about 4 months. This is never really explained what happens here, and it's sort of hinted at, maybe in the end, but Rose is apparently so powerful that even as an infant she is able to resist the manipulation to try to get her to reform Ava. And then this.
My power is leaving me.
Is apparently able to weaken Miranda, such that I think that might be one of the reasons why Miranda is killable in this boss fight, is because Rose has taken some of her power just enough to take the edge off and make her sort of vulnerable.
No!
You will see. Once I kill you properly, everything.
Get her now! Let go!
I don't know. I kind of like the dialogue in this. I feel like it doesn't hit the sort of clarity that that RE7 does, but it also has a simplicity and a straightforwardness that manages to tell the story without feeling too adorned. Which, I mean, even though Miranda's killable, that doesn't mean it's exactly you know, an easy fight. So we'll see how hard this is as she shapeshifts into. Just gonna go ahead and get this out. Ooh. Okay. So that does a lot of damage. I believe I want to save these. Oh, my power is leaving me? Yeah, no, it is on the nose. I wonder if there would be a way to convey that without that line. I'm wondering. Let's see. So that's good. Let's I do want to save the grenade launcher to be able to interrupt one of her attacks in particular. So let's. Whoa! Hi.
Hell makes you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours.
This is.
Where's she at? Where's she at? Oh, there she is.
You won't interfere.
Oh wow! I gotta just keep blocking unless I'm reloading. Yeah.
Rose is truly mine at last.
Oh, weird. You can access the Duke's Emporium from here. It had the merchant on the map, but didn't see where I was able to access him. Yeah, this is very spidery. It gets into at least a couple of spider forms. I wonder if these guys are still behind me. They are still behind me, in fact.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Rivers. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificence.
Alright,
Now,
so
please do not
strafing.
worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with truth. So now you can die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Please, Mr. Winters, stop struggling. Come.
Wait. What the heck? Oh wow! That is a move that she usually activates later in the fight during a specific phase, and also telegraphs that she's going to do it. So that's interesting. I did not know you had a pet tarantula swimming. That is a very swimmy pet to have.
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
You won't intervene. Cease this foolishness. This is...
What the heck was that? Oh. Tracking her is going to be a challenge.
I've never seen a human live without heart. Are you sure you're not one?
Maybe I should go ahead and just use these up front. Although, actually, having to reload is kind of a...
I shall put you to rest. Rose is truly mine.
Huh. Okay, Time Zombie. Well, if in fact I am able to beat her during this fight, which I think I will be, we will. I'll be doing MGS5, which you will be happy to know is spider-free. Let's see. Oh yeah, I want to save this, sell this, and that's great. Oh, all right. Yeah. I definitely want these increases. That's very good. And... excuse me. Yeah. I am cooler with spiders now than I was when I lived in the South. Just because the difficulty of readily identifying which they are made it a little unnerving, because you know there are more spiders down there that that'll get you, not in ways that you want, than there are up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Little Ava, my beautiful. You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificence. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with truth. So now you can die peacefully. You understand?
Okay.
And the love of a
I'm
parent.
not letting you get away.
How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
I shall put you to rest. This is...
Ooh.
You won't intervene. I've never seen a human live without its heart. Are you sure you're not one of us?
there's a landmine there.
Your time is up! Now!
Just gotta experiment with that real fast.
Oh, die!
Well, that does hit her. Like maybe that's a way to maximize what I can get out of that.
The Megamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power!
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
This is what I want to save it for. Forget. Oh crap. Let's,
After all, everyone dies. Hold still.
Ah. Oh, I hit her on that.
Die.
I need to just to adjust my slots so I have these things a little more on call than having to go through the menu.
Will this? After all, everyone dies. Die. Such vitality. Will this?
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Do I have a heal left? I do.
After all, everyone dies. Hold still. Die. Feel the dark god's wrath!
Oh crap. This is what I need to save the thing for. Now remembering. Oh no. This is the bad stuff. Bad times. Bad times. Yeah. Okay. So this isn't going to result in a victory. But let's see what happens. This is also where I think that this can come in handy. Let's see. Nope, wrong thing. This part of the phase is... This phase is actually pretty good for me because this... If I can get behind these tentacles, that's a pretty good moment to reload. Where's she at? Oh, there she is. Right, she does that thing. Oh no, this is it for Ethan. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe there are things I can do besides block that might get me better results. Rate of fire is fixed. That would be cool. Especially since I've got a lot of, got a lot of shotgun shells, and that's kind of my go-to, excuse me, for that phase of the fight. Okay. Alright. So let's make 2 mines. So that gives us 3 mines. And then, so when she jumps up on that pedestal, then I'm going to use that as an opportunity to lay a mine so that when she jumps, she lands on it. And 4 healing items I hope can help me get through that, and I definitely want the flashbangs for when she blacks everything out. Evening, Dustin. So far, it has felt, it has felt like a hard version of this fight, but one that seems to have solutions that make sense. Blocking is effective, not getting hit is more effective, but outside of backing up and strafing when she does certain straightforward attacks, I haven't quite figured out what the appropriate evasion is. Also, good evening. It's good to see you. Excuse me. I will save those. Also, let me just go ahead and shortcut this because I'm not gonna need that knife during this fight. Evening, Margin. It's good to see you.
My beautiful daughter. You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Midnight. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide.
So she does that lined up, and then she does a combo of 2 to 4.
You understand the level.
And that gets her through the first phase.
I'm not letting you get away.
How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize?
The spider form gives me the most trouble, and I would like to get her through that as quickly as possible.
Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours.
And Ethan can talk through the pain.
I shall put you to rest.
She does that rear up attack. She does a jump.
Your time is up.
And now we're back to the sky bomb.
Now die.
Gotta say, it feels really good to
I've never seen a human live without his heart. Are you sure?
feels really good when she lands on that mine and you get that big kaboom. Oh no, where's she did the jump attack.
The Metamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive me nuts.
Where's she at?
After all, everyone dies. Hold still. Will this kill you? I can take any form I desire. Evil.
Ugh, crunch. Alright, so when she does that, I have plenty of time to recover. This form seems pretty predictable, pattern-wise, and I think this is manageable.
Will this kill you?
On another run, when I get here, I would like to experiment to see if I can actually run out of the way of that diving attack.
Die.
Actually, let's just try it now. Alright! Oh wait, she reared up and did it a second time. So that works.
After all, everyone dies.
So she rears up. I run away. Okay, so she does it twice, and I don't have to take block damage when she does it. That's great.
Such vitality. Die.
Wait, what? Where are you at? Oh no. Woo. Oh, wow.
How lucky you are to die.
That, took me from, I think, about halfway to half health to 0 real fast. Ethan being a dead fungus? I think it's interesting, and, definitely, it is interesting that Mia is cool with it, is a thought that occurs to me. Yeah. Wonder... I want to save my heaviest ammunition for the phase that I like least. And I'm wondering if that should be the spider phase, because I seem to have the hardest time dodging that. So maybe I'm going to try using shotgun on her first phase, because those attacks seem largely avoidable or blockable.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. You disposed of my
Yes, I like that as well.
awakened the glorious magnificence. Now, please do not worry.
Alright, so she
for
attacks
little
twice.
Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true peace. So now you can
So
die
I can listen to
I'm not letting you get away.
2 of her attacks. So yeah.
Please, Mr. Winters, stop.
Okay. That is more doable. Oh crap! I'm gonna get shot with a bunch of fireballs. Okay, cool.
Don't resist.
On the other hand, if I get hit by it, that's pretty brutal.
I'll There's nothing. I shall finish.
Alright, so it looks like the strategy is to run in the right direction relative to where she's coming at you during those attacks. Ah, not like that though. Yes, I like that too. It's and nobody noticed is the thing. It kind of makes you wonder if Jack was just kind of playing with that when he did the one of the moments that is missable in RE7 that I really liked is if you get cornered by Jack and attacked to him in a particular room of the Baker house right at the start, he basically cuts off Ethan's leg with the tip of the head of the shovel, and then kind of lovingly gives Ethan a healing item to be able to reattach it, and that makes more sense. And I kind of wonder if Jack knew that to the extent that he was connected to Evelyn. Yeah, I love that one too.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious dead my sweet. Now, please do not worry the little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with tools.
Maybe I do just want to block that one.
I'm not letting you get away.
Don't resist. Please, Mr. Winters, stop struggling.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna block that one and then just strafe. The block damage is better than the risk of taking the full brunt of that combo.
I'll take wonderful care. Here I come. How about this? There's nothing.
There we go.
You understand the love of a parent and a child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours.
Ah, that was a waste.
You won't interfere.
Okay. So that's useful for getting her out of that phase quickly. I wish I had more health. Actually, I'm not going to make it through there, and I don't think that I'll have the mobility to make experimentation worthwhile. So let's go back to the start. So I want the other phase to end sooner. What I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to plug her with like 2 magnum shots right at the start, and then use the shotgun to kind of get her the rest of the way, and then use the magnum on her exclusively during the second phase, because once she gets to the third phase, that's really easily avoidable, and then once I get her past the third phase, she seems to cycle through them fairly quickly, so I don't need to worry about one particular attack kind of hitting me over and over again that I'm having trouble with. And yeah. Excuse me. That's my strategy.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious dead my sweet. Now, please do not worry the little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with tools. So now you can die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Why don't you? There's nothing.
Behind cover.
I shall finish this. You understand the
There we go.
How can you deny?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
Time is up. Now die. Cease this foolishness.
Ooh, there we go. I think I whiffed on two of those Magnum shots, which isn't great.
I've never seen a human live without his heart. Are you sure you're not?
I wonder when she does that, and she kind of rears back, if I could like run into her. All right, cool. This phase, the easier one to deal with.
Give me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Hold still.
Oh,
Will this?
oh, sorry. I keep reflexively going back to menu, and I don't mean to do that.
Such vitality. I can take any form I desire. After all,
I wonder if maybe a sniper rifle would be better there.
will this?
Just because I'm not sure at what range the at what range the shotgun stops being ineffective or stops being effective.
Die.
Oh,
After all, everyone dies.
oh, ah! Didn't see the third one coming.
Will this kill you? After all, everyone dies.
It's that third one that I don't know when she's gonna do.
Will this kill me? Die. Die! Be swallowed into the Megamycete!
There we go.
All
So now this happens.
die!
Is there a way to stop this? Weird. I'm not sure how that resolves there.
If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last! I've waited a century.
Okay. So maybe that thing needs to not be interrupted, but avoided on this difficulty.
Hold still.
That's gonna do it for me. Yep. Let's see. No, that won't work.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Megamycete. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true peace. So now you can die peacefully and permanently.
I'm not letting you get away.
Here I come. Please, Mr. Winters.
I wonder if there is something being telegraphed depending on which arm is in front when she kind of like does her sort of like half pirouette. Like that. Like that's one thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when she has her arms open,
You understand?
looks like there is a three hit combo.
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
This is cease this foolishness.
Cool.
The Meg-
Good, we're moving through these cycles much more quickly.
It's of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Such vitality. How disgusting. Die.
Ooh.
After all, everyone dies.
Maybe after I avoid that second one, I should wait to see what she's doing.
For my desire. Still evil.
I think she has a third attack somewhere in there that winds up similarly to the ones that I'm expecting, and I might be missing whatever it is. I wonder if that sort of halo behind her is a weak point specifically, rather than just being like the broadside of the barn.
After all, everyone dies.
There's a third one.
Will this?
I would like to be able to dodge rather than block that third one. But I'm concerned that if I continue running in anticipation of dodging it,
Feel the dark god's wrath!
that I'll miss my window for attacking her. What?
Now, Mr.
What the
Winters,
heck?
I think it's time you left things in my
What? I don't. I think maybe I got my camera tilted to where I was looking straight up.
I combine those with the megamycete.
Somewhat
My
bewildering.
daughter will be made manifest at last. I've waited a century, all for this day. Hold still.
Yeah.
Die. Why do you eat? Surely you have no need for us now, so close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter. Psycho.
I've never seen a human live without thought. Are you sure you're not? Die.
Alright. And so when she crosses her arms, she does the,
I'll take wonderful
does the
care
dash.
of the rose.
to... Oh, man! She caught me right when I was healing.
A rose is truly
Okay.
mine at last.
So I think I got a grip on what her main patterns are and how to dodge enough of them. I hope that this is not a Moreau numbers game, but remains to be seen. Give me 1 second, I'm going to take a quick break. Alright, so I have an idea. Something that I did not do on Moreau that I might do here is... so the value in accomplishing this on New Game for Village of Shadows is going to be to have taken the challenge of leveling your weapons in a smart way, executing on strategies that you understand and know how to respond to, enemy attacks that you know how to respond to, and doing all that with those limited tools. It also depends upon sort of a little bit of gaming the game, so getting more information about a scenario from having played the game rather than assuming you are rather than assuming you have Ethan's perspective and his limited knowledge. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually, now that I have a game save here, I'm going to go back to the main menu. I'm going to turn on infinite ammo, and I'm going to fight her with the Wolf's Bane revolver with infinite ammo turned on, so I can see exactly how much health she has, and then assess from there whether or not that is a beatable scenario given my current equipment loadout. I suspect that it probably is, but just because of what they did with Moreau, I don't want to sink like 3 to 4 hours into what is ultimately an impossible task. So we're going to do a little bit of fact-finding here. And I would like for the achievement to be accomplished. Dad of the Millennium, I think it is. I would like for that achievement to be accomplished with a proper win, but at the same time, just the smart way to play this difficulty is with as much information as possible, and I don't feel like taking stream time to go look on the internet. And also, thinking ahead enough, basing decisions on information and felt experience, that itself is part of the process that leads to a satisfying victory of a very hard mode. So even this bit of self-directed exploration is, I feel, within the bounds of that challenge. All right, and let's just go ahead and make these.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious day of my estate. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with truth.
So crossed arms means
So now you can die
that nonsense. Open arms means this nonsense.
Not letting you get away.
You understand the level of character, child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
Like the most vicious custody battle ever known.
You won't interfere. Cease this foolishness. The Metamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive
What?
me nuts.
Oh, I thought she was going to do something other than what she actually did. Yeah.
Will this kill? Feel the dark gods.
Alright, now we're gonna see if I can actually damage her enough with this using any of the resources I could possibly have at this stage to cancel whatever this attack is. Okay, so she can be. Maybe that would be a good thing to save my revolver for when doing this proper like.
If I combine Rose with a megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last. I've waited a century, all for this day. Why do you persist in this waste? Such vitality and dismiss. After all, everyone dies. Why do you? Surely you have no need of us now. So close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter, you psycho!
I wonder when she does that if I could. So she seems to pause before she does a major attack in that form.
Here I come.
Wonder if I can use that opportunity to run toward her. It seems like the kind of attack where. Sorry, I'm not finishing my sentence completely here. Seems like the kind of attack where you would be able to be safe standing underneath her.
You still stuck. Impudent!
Okay, so that takes us to the end of that fight. I believe that is possible. I believe that's possible using the skills that I have. Or using the equipment that I have. So let's turn that off. Curious, did that do the challenge? Nope, did not. Cool, I still get my sense of accomplishment. Now, when I started playing a lot of very hard difficulty games back in, I think, probably 2003 with the Devil May Cry games, those were the first ones that really, I sort of felt the real excitement of this sort of, like, very aggressive, sort of forward energy combat and fighting style. I thought to myself, you know, I'm memorizing a lot of these boss patterns in a way, and I wonder if that's ever going to prove useful. And there was part of my brain that felt like maybe I should store that information in some permanent way that I could recall it at any given moment. And as I've gone through many of these games and have played a lot of them, I've come to appreciate that, you know, memorizing a specific boss's specific patterns doesn't itself turn into long-standing knowledge, because that is a mechanic, that is a specific moment requiring specific technique that will not be replicated likely in other events. But there are mechanics that are similar enough to it that you sort of build up a general vocabulary of attack types, etc., and then you can respond to them fairly fluidly. So being able to play a game that is very difficult now, even though I've never encountered those specific boss patterns from, you know, this particular perspective before, you know, having played Devil May Cry 3, like, that helps me with this because I kind of know generally how these things go. And that's very interesting to me. And let's just see here. It's 2,500 per round. We're looking at here. So this 2 shotgun blasts are roughly equivalent to 1 magnum blast, and 2 sniper bullets are roughly equivalent to 1 sniper blast, to one magnum blast. Oh wow, my shotgun is actually more powerful than my grenade launcher at this point. So that's very interesting. Let's see. That's 190 times times, let's say 4, that's 490 per second. Oh wait, yeah, times 4, that's let's say roughly round up 600 per second. So I'm trying to think about that, trying to think about what the best way to do the maximum amount of damage in the shortest period of time possible. So yeah, it looks like this is not the big gun that it used to be, and this is my biggest gun, and second biggest gun next to the Magnum, and that's useful knowledge. So now it's about using them tactically.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificent.
Crossed arms is easy dodge.
Do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide
Open
her
arms
with true
is a harder dodge. Okay, so open arms I'm going to block. Closed arms I'm going to run away from. I wish I could set this in such a way that it carries over to each attempt, because this is tedious.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificent. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her.
Good lord. I got my signals mixed up. Actually, given how the grenade launcher isn't as strong as the shotgun, maybe I don't need to take the time between rounds to give it a dedicated slot.
You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificent. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true peace. So now you can die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Here I come.
Good. Did it right that time.
Please, Mr. Winters. Come.
Ah. This is this is something I found true with playing games like Street Fighter, and this is true with any other skill, I think, is that once you have enough knowledge to realize that you can do something deliberately or try to do something deliberately, you wind up failing a lot more frequently because you're trying to execute a new technique that you don't have the experience of understanding that particular way. So learning actually looks like failure, but it isn't. You're actually doing better. Better ideas. Better ideas and worse performance. And worse performance is kind of the tax that you pay when you have a better idea.
Here I come. Please, Mr. Winters. I shall finish this. Don't resist.
One of the reasons why when you're gauging anybody's performance in anything, you just got to be very smart and attentive to the specific situation. To make sure that you are, in fact, measuring what is happening.
You understand the love of a parent or child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my... I goddamn kid, not yours.
Oh, okay. I can't run away from that. I thought maybe I could run away from it, but no. That is not the case.
You won't interfere. I shall put you to rest.
Okay. That's avoidable.
Your time is up!
Okay. So when she does the very quick stabby thing, she pauses and I can run toward her and avoid that big stab. And then when she does another attack where she bounces, then she rears up, it's not a third bounce, it's actually an attack from the location where she landed the second time. So again, if I run toward her there, I can avoid the big stab. And that's good to know.
Now die!
I really enjoy figuring this stuff out. Like that right there. Or maybe it's not the second bounce every time.
I've never seen a human live without a heart. Are you sure?
Ah!
Your time is up!
I am in fact out of mines. Well, shoot.
Now die! You won't interfere. The Megamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive me nuts.
Whew.
After all, everyone dies.
Okay. I'm seeing more where my windows of opportunity to attack are. This is actually the phase that kind of allows you to be a little more deliberate. Oh. Ah. The one time I forget to compulsively reload.
After all, everyone dies. Will this kill Die and be swallowed into the mega.
Okay. So this is where I want to use the big gun. There we go. Now. Oh, didn't craft those.
If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made
let's reload this.
A century, all for this day. For my daughter. This is...
Here's to blocking. Let's go ahead and use these two while we're at it. Oh, hey! I outran that. That's pretty cool.
Cease this foolishness. Why do you want to? Surely you have no need of Rose now. So close to death.
She's my
Oh, whoa, whoa,
goddamn
whoa, whoa.
daughter.
She's,
Psycho.
doing something different.
Hold
Okay.
still. I will not let him or anyone else take Rose or my...
What? Oh, she can attack me between Okay, so she can transform between forms and attack me during that transformation. Great. No problem, Margin. It's just been me, stream of conscious, figuring out how I'm gonna do this, and doing better. I think I've got some better ideas here. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. But, yeah, how's Columbo? I remember that being on TV when I was a kid.
Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true happiness. So now
And
you can
has
die
looks like it has entered into sort of public consciousness again. I mean, I don't know if it's like now liked ironically. Is that if that's a condition for liking things anymore that are old?
Don't resist. Here I come. I'll take wonderful care of little Rose. You understand the love of a parent, child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
Okay. Again, I'm trying to think about how.
I shall put you to rest.
Oh, cool! I can just run straight into her when she backs up all the other side. I don't have to accept the
Your time
get
is
as
up.
far away from
Now
possible
die.
strategy. Alright, this phase is suddenly becoming much more manageable.
I've never seen a human live without heart. Are you sure you're not one? This is
That did not do it.
cease this foolishness. Your time is up. Now die.
What? Oh, no, that was not what I wanted to do.
I shall put you to rest.
Okay,
You won't interfere.
so it seems like it's a good idea to let her stay at medium distance in this phase.
My seed saved me from the pits of despair.
That's a really cool read on that. I like that. Thank you. I'm gonna actually restart with the new knowledge. Yeah, Columbo always just kind of had this sort of like chill uncle feel that that I enjoyed when he came on reruns.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificent. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true peace. So now you can die peacefully.
Not let him get away.
How about this? Why
Alright, I think I need to learn how to avoid that one. Because it is turning into one of the more consistent losses of health even when I block.
Here I come. I'll take wonderful care of little Rose. You understand the love of a parent or child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
Reload.
I've never seen a human live without his heart. Are you sure you're not? Your time is up! Now die!
Ah,
You won't interfere. I shall put you to rest. Die. This is
I want to save the mind thing for her second half of her fight. Because I feel like that's the phase that I want to end the quickest. So, any better attacks
Your time is up.
that I can save for the
Now
harder
die.
one, I would like to.
The Metamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive me nuts.
Whoop! What? I thought she was rearing up for one of the explosive orb attacks, but I was wrong.
Will this kill me? I can take any form I desire. Beast. Evil. After all, everyone dies. Die. Will this kill you?
Actually running out of shotgun shells this time.
After all, everyone dies. great Mega Mice.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, I know, right? Evening, Greylings. Good to see you. I feel like it's been a while.
My prayer.
There we go. Good. Man, what's the... Yeah, let's just use these now. Do I have those created? I do.
If I combine Rose with a Mega Mice, my daughter will be made manifest at last. I've waited a century, all for this.
So, yeah, there's no reason not to go ahead and use this. How many health do I have? Got 2.
Why won't you?
Ugh.
Such vitality.
Good. One hitter.
Will this kill you? Why do you?
Oh! I did, in fact, see that one coming.
Close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter, you psycho!
I wonder if I can use the iframes of laying the mine and just like put 3 of them down on top of each other for a lot of damage. Where are you?
For my daughter.
Ah, block that one too. This has got to be the home stretch.
I shall put you to rest.
Can I make more of this? No more health.
This is
Okay, no, iframes don't work there. Yeah, Iceman Dan, I went, I turned on infinite ammo and beat her using the Magnum to see if I did in fact have enough resources to beat her, and I do. It's going to take a lot during the second phase, but I can't see anything. I'm dead.
Everything you're not capable of real life.
Ethan's dying words. Oh man. Yeah, right, Grayling? Lady, if you can just give me a second here. I feel like selling this would be a bad idea. But I'm kind of tempted to anyway. Because I'm not using it very much during the fight. And it's just too slow, and I think I could probably use this to improve... improve at least a couple of facets on the weapon that's actually doing the damage. Man. Tough choice. I seem to be doing okay with reload speed on the shotgun. Ammo capacity, that would help me with one bullet at this point. I don't have enough of this to merit putting more resources into it. This is the one that I could possibly stand to bulk up because I've got a ton of ammo for it, and let's see, what does that bring it up to? 195. That's not a whole lot. And being able to squeeze off a lot of bullets could be very useful. I'm going to try with my current loadout one more time. See if I can do this. All right.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Nicholas. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with truth.
I hate that attack.
So now you can die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Here I come.
That one's fine. This one where her arms are open that I'm having difficulty with.
I shall finish this. Why don't you?
Yeah. If I can get distance from her, I'm going to try and run toward her at a 45-degree angle and see if that does it.
Little Ava, my beautiful daughter.
What are you doing there? Well, I'm super close to the end. There's actually a second bad idea embedded here, which is
Children and awakened the glorious Nicholas. Now, please,
playing through Village of Shadows on New Game and not New Game
I
Plus.
assure you I'll provide her with true happiness. So now you can die peacefully. How about this?
Okay.
Don't resist.
She opens her arms. Okay. Running diagonally does not seem to help. I wonder, weirdly, if I blocked and then backed up. Only melee attacks. Yeah. I did the knife only achievement.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Nicholas. Now, please do not
Okay.
worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true
2, 3.
So now you can die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Yeah, I did the knives only challenge on casual difficulty, and it works with the karambit on that difficulty. I mean, the regular knife just would take very long. You don't get attacked very frequently, and you've got a lot of health, and the enemies have much less health. So you can do it. It's just more tedious. I can't. I imagine there are some speedrunners out there like Carsey who have got methods for doing things like that, but that is a little beyond what I have time to figure out in my life.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Nicholas. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true happiness.
Yeah, I want to try running away from the open-armed one.
Die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Why
All right, that's the way to do it.
there's nothing.
All right, that's good to know.
Come.
if I stay on her and can push her back into a wall, then when she does the open arm attack, I have room to turn around and run away.
Don't resist.
This. Maybe not quite like that, but close enough.
Here I come. You understand the level of parenting, child? How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
This is your time is up. Now die. Cease this foolishness. This is you won't eat it. I've never seen a human live without heart. Are you sure you're not? Your time is up! Now die! Die. I shall put you to rest. The Megamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power!
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Where are we at? Oh no. Good.
Will this kill you?
Oh, don't.
After all, everyone dies.
Oh, that didn't block right.
Die.
That was avoidable. Hopefully there will not be that many more mistakes like that.
Will this kill you? Die and be swallowed into the Megamycete for all!
Now it's time to bring out the big guns. Alright, so doing better. Oh, that sucks. That means I missed one. Oh wait, I need to craft my things. Hopefully not all night. I think I'm getting closer, but there's a reason why I saved this for its own stream rather than tack it on to the end of a couple of nights ago. So. Oh. Nope, don't do that.
None shall interfere in my grandsons. If I combine Rose with the Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest! At last! I've waited a century, all for this day.
Let's bring that out.
You still stay. Cease this foolishness.
psycho!
Now she does a transformation.
I'll take wonderful care, little
Oh.
Rose.
Ah.
After all, everyone dies.
Oh, come on. Tell me I got another heal.
Why? How about this?
What? How? I don't know how that hit me. It's bewildering. I also don't know why that didn't work.
Now, Mr. Winters.
Oh my god!
left things in my house.
That's aggravating. Let me see how we're at for time, because I actually don't want to keep streaming this game past past this this stream. So if I'm not able to beat it with normal means, I think I'm actually just gonna blast through it on nearly 2 hours up. Yeah, I'm gonna blast through it with an infinite gun, so that at least we have an appreciation for what it's like on New Game Plus, and with the distinct knowledge that if indeed New Game Plus with infinite ammo is how this difficulty is meant to be played, I can clear it on those terms. So let's give it one more good faith run.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificent. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true happiness. So now you can die peacefully and permanently.
I'm not letting you get away.
Huh.
There's nothing.
That was a different sound effect. I wonder if that indicates hitting a different critical point.
Come.
Actually, okay. I want to get her through that phase as quickly as possible, because that open-armed attack is just is actually costing me more damage than I want to take. So I'm going to use 2 Magnum blasts on her at the start of this one to shorten the length of this one.
Your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious magnificent. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with peace. So now you can die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
There's nothing. I shall finish this.
Thank you, Grayling. Thanks for stopping by. It's great to see you. It's been a while. Yeah, after this game,
Here I come.
we're gonna do. I think the Twin Snakes. I think I'm gonna play the Twin Snakes on stream
I'll take wonderful
for our next priority game.
You understand the love of a parent, child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
This is you won't I've never seen a human live without heart. I'm sure you're not one. Your time is up! Now die! I shall put you to rest. This is
I don't think I've ever noticed that you have the four kings hanging out in the background of this environment before. Oh! Whew. All right. Evening, Ark. It's good to see you. We are, this is my last good faith attempt at beating this game on new game items. And I'd like to be done with this game after the stream, so if I don't beat it this time, I'm just going to beat it with the infinite revolver, and we'll call it a day.
If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last. I've waited a century.
Alright. Let's use these pipe bombs.
A century! All for this day! Why? You won't intervene. Your time is up! Now die! Why do you intervene? Surely you have no
Where you at?
remorse now. So close
Oh, crap.
to death.
She's my goddamn daughter.
Ah! Alright. Infinite revolver it is. I will, I'm gonna mentally put a bookmark in this challenge as something to return to. Yeah, I know. It's just, you know, time is limited. I gotta cover some ground, so gotta identify your compromises where you can make them. And this is one of those points. Well, thank you, Iceman Dan. Yeah, I'll bookmark this to come back to later. And, so I can say I did it proper. Now, it is the difference between the way that you interact with something on a stream versus the way that you interact with something in private. Is the handful of times that I have done something like completely blind on stream, like my first time through, and this run being one of them. I find I have less patience for the threshold of failure that I would be used to. Basically, like there's a time limit on how long I have to fail before I give it up. In person, you know, I might give it like a few days, but you know, we're not in too much of a hurry. But I like variety on this.
You understand that
I'm not letting you get away.
How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn
The
kid,
Megamycete
not yours?
saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Let's shortcut you here.
Oh, great Megamycete, hear my prayer.
All right, let's get this out of the way.
If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last.
Oops, let's get behind cover.
A century, all for this day.
you gotta be kidding me.
Till now, of course.
Straight from 50% to death. Wait, no.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Megamycete. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true happiness. So now you can die peacefully. You understand the level of
I'm not letting you get away.
How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid,
Megamycete
not yours?
saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Feel the dark god's wrath.
There we go.
Corpse. If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last. I've waited a century. A century.
Attack her
all
through
for
there?
this day.
I don't think so.
For my daughter. Why do you interfere? Surely you have no need to this now. So close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter. You psycho.
I will not let him or anyone else take Rose or my daughter. Why?
Heal up. There we go.
Why would you? Will this kill you?
Maybe I was wrong and it is not doable with my current loadout.
Those foreigners, they could do nothing to assuage my years of loneliness.
Ever think the problem might be you, Miranda? You're not capable of real love.
There we go.
This is how you end the Winters. To ensure I never see your face again, I will feed you to the darkness every single.
About to say, give me my gun. Jesus. Apparently you could actually lose that part. But thank God, here we are. Yeah, you know, it was a challenge on infinite ammo, and it's interesting to me. I allowed myself to use fewer dodging and blocking skills when I was playing on infinite ammo because I felt like I could lean on that a little bit more. In the process, wound up taking more damage during that version than I would have using just my regular new game items. So, so yeah, that's interesting. The freedom that I felt that allowed me. Thank you.
It's all right.
Very clean baby for all that. Oops. Now that moment when you remember that you are in fact walking mold.
Ethan! Ethan!
What if this
Come on, Ethan.
gives Chris like a newfound
Ethan,
respect
wake
for how
up.
much he could lean on Ethan in this event? Because one can only imagine if he and Ethan had worked together, how well this might have turned out.
You did it. It's finished.
I think we've finished each other.
Ethan, we gotta move.
It's interesting visually how this, the framing of this resembles the end of RE7, even though it's not first person where you see the giant, tentacular mutated Eveline coming down on you from above. You still see the same sort of thing, this sort of like looming gross monstrosity coming down on top
Keep
of you.
moving, Ethan. There's a bomb in that
Although
thing
it
that'll
actually,
blow
the
through
Miranda fight
sky.
also ends the same way the Eveline fight does
Look at me.
in
When I
RE7,
hit this trigger, we can't
with
go anywhere
with a
near
sequence of just blind firing and
God
trying
damn it.
to use
He's waiting for
what's
you.
basically infinite ammo
She's alive, you
to
hear me?
uh,
Alive.
to get through a final ultimate
Man.
form that is part scripted,
I'm so sorry.
part skill based.
I love you. Keep Rose safe.
Hey, hey. Hey. And you tell yourself. Now, come
I have
on,
a hard
let's
time
not go much
imagining Chris
further.
Redfield has ever held a baby.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong.
God damn it.
Goodbye, Rosemary.
Yeah, that's a good question. What is there to stop that from like going off if Chris just accidentally happens to bump his hip into the wrong column when running away from the lichens? Weird. I played a lot of VR, and this perspective here weirdly makes me sick. Excuse me. That's interesting. There's the mutant mice seat. I mean, between, but it's like Ethan saves his real daughter, and then
Rose?
destroys the other child that is coming down upon him.
Go. Go, take us up now.
Thank you, Dustin.
Wait!
Wasn't the way I envisioned doing it, but you know what? Sometimes that's how success happens.
Get moving. We have to get clear.
No, we can't go. Not without my husband.
Mia, sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is. I know he wouldn't abandon us. Tell me what's going on. Where?
And Chris is just not good with being transparent about vital information on the location, whereabouts, and, you know,
What was that?
status
I told you to sit down.
of people's families.
Where is he? Chris, what have you done?
He's gone. I tried. He stayed so we could all escape. I'm sorry.
Captain, you need to see this.
Now, this is an interesting twist that the
BSAA
lore nerd in me
sounds
really
so-
wants to see followed up on, because this
This is a
BSAA
vital
soldier that they recover
Thinking.
looks very similar to the first zombie that you see
Orders, Captain.
in Resident Evil 1.
Pick up the rest of the squad.
And
Plot a course for BSA.
and at the end of this, of course, Chris is going to a European headquarters, which is where he went off to at the end of Resident Evil 1
Someone's gotta
to track down Umbrella. and where I believe Claire Redfield was apprehended and sent to, is it Fort Rock Island in Code Veronica? But yeah, so some familiar things here at the end that make a lore nerd happy. And this is a pretty cool way of bookending the story of showing this this storybook turn out well, rather than the horror story as it was before. So it's like Rose's nightmare gets rewritten to a macabre, you know, fairy tale that turns out well for her. That would be Dimitrescu, vampire bat. This is Moreau. It's like the spider strands kind of have a kind of like a marionette string feel to it. And the dress that she offers as a gift kind of looks a little bit like oh, what's the name of it? Angie, I think it is, Donna's doll. Same Iceman Dan. Who, of course, is very transparently Moreau, and also right down to the fact that he has multiple eyes. Hello? It's interesting that all of these things give her a gift, give her something that allows her to progress, kind of in the same way that when Ethan was going through and defeating them, he also acquired something from him. It just happened to be Rose's body. And it's interesting that Heisenberg is the character in this that is treacherous, the one who turns the fate of the girl around. Similar to the way that he would have betrayed Lady Dimitrescu, would have betrayed Mother Miranda.
Gifts we gave, but more you took, she snarled. So more in turn is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside
Exactly,
a mirror.
Iceman Dan.
Her parents, though, had searched all day and at last arrived. With rampant rage, Father fought the witch, while Mother's loving touch shattered the dark enchantment. But the witch was strong, and Father yelled, "Save our daughter!" So Mother bore their child to safety as the forest was consumed. Even now, the burnt forest is a grim reminder of Father's sacrifice. To this day, any child who stares too long into the charred wasteland will be haunted.
It's interesting
by
how this
nightmares
look kind of
getting lost
has a blood vessel feel to it, which also kind of connects with the whole like bio-horror angle. So it's still not too far removed from the heart, the bio sci-fi element that underpins all the seeming supernatural and other imaginative elements. Same Iceman Dan. I like how they paid attention to what worked in the Resident Evil 4 credit sequence, where you see like the idyllic village, the farmers and everything, and then you see Sadler coming in and injecting them with the what was it? With the parasite, Las Plagas parasite, and you get to see kind of how that village begins to decay after accepting that gift. And they took a page, literally in this case, from that, and adapted it. I like how the family that's here, it echoes kind of Ethan's, Mia's, and Rose's family structure. So you know, you've got the father, daughter, and mother. Then the mother perishes in the story, similar to the way that Mia disappeared. The father steps in and accepts some trade-off for his daughter's well-being, and the daughter survives while the father then is destroyed. And so there is a smart parallel there between this storybook credit and, you know, a slice of life of the fate of these villagers and what Ethan and the player actually just went through. Right down to not being able to see their father's face. I mean, admittedly, you can't see anybody's face, but it still fits. And the haircut kind of looks a little bit like Ethan's as well. But they changed enough of the other details, like the mother's sort of physique and hair and the daughter's appearance, so that they don't quite look like their counterparts in the fairy tale book. Although this is interesting. So there are at least 2 artistically rendered versions of Ethan's, Rose's, and Mia's story as parallel renditions. One is a fairy tale, the other as the villagers' stories. And I like that way of presenting it again in a different format. It really reinforces by repetition what the themes of the story are. I'm guessing that is Mother Miranda. And at the head of the... I'm wondering if how literally these locations in the illustrations are meant to be taken, whether this is the church little chapel that that you make it to in the game. And presumably, I believe this Mother Miranda's presence in this village has been centuries long. Based off the costume here, I'm wondering if this is supposed to be, you know, like modern rural. You know, they live in a world apart from the fast-paced society of 9 to 5 and traffic in cities and the like, or if this is like an historical glimpse backward. I'm guessing since the lichen transformations take place, and the lichen transformations are not a... I don't get the feeling that they are a long time phenomenon in the village. So it just happened recently. Evening, Iceman Dan. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, we're gonna close it down after the credit sequence here finishes. But yeah, I'm gonna do Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes next. I'm gonna be playing through that GameCube, weird GameCube game, and we're gonna do that nightly until we beat it. So thank you for asking. Oh, there's Dad. Guy's not doing too well. Oh, weird. Toho Studios. I think that is in fact the same Toho that's of movie fame. Evening, Phoenicia. Speedtree, I have, this is my first encounter with them. I had not heard of them before seeing them in the outsourcing credits of this, or I don't know if it's outsourcing or just an engine that they used. Okay, so yeah, so Rose, turns out she has blonde hair, and the girl in the picture book flashback also has blonde hair. So yeah, that's a
what if he has a rocket ship?
pretty good stand-in for her.
Okay, then you can touch it, but it'd be very, very cold.
Excuse me.
You were being silly. I don't think that.
Is that like a magic transformation girl thing on her sneaker? It looks it.
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday. Sorry I missed last week. I have a lot of tests coming up. You know how it is. Talk of the goddamn devil.
Yeah, it's brutal that Rose can't get like
Close.
10 minutes to herself.
I love you.
That black no label baseball cap just says
Yeah, I found her.
what is
Where
it?
else?
Makes you think of Flight of the Navigator?
Days. We have a situation. You're needed, Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Oh, it was just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
We have a clear shot.
Stand down. I can handle it.
Like a weird choice to antagonize
Way to keep it together, Rose.
your powerful bioweapon protege. Definitely not the kind of
not like
treatment
him,
that you would want to give somebody who definitely have a vested interest in staying on the straight and narrow.
I know.
Now this thing that's about to come up is the subject of some speculation, and it interests me. There's somebody who comes up to the vehicle as it stops. And I don't know what that's supposed to indicate. Yeah, there's somebody, that person wasn't there when the vehicle took off. So presumably they're walking toward the spot. And yeah, they're sort of descending from the horizon line. You see the brake lights come on. And I wonder if that's intended to tie in with whatever DLC they're coming out with, or if that was like a what am I talking about? Teaser for a future game. The father's story is now done. If you had any doubts whatsoever that Ethan is gone, there it is. What's the game made this year? I mean, it came out this year, so I think they at least greenlit that fashion choice. Alright, Village of Shadows. 9 hours, 53 minutes, and 50 seconds. Rocket Pistol. Universe's best dad. This guy right here. And on that note, Universe's best dad is going to call it a night. Thank you everybody for tuning in for the full playthrough. Thank you everybody who stuck around for the 2 hours of struggling against Miranda and the final decision just to call it a wash, use infinite ammo, and buckle through that. Phoenicia, it's great to see you. This has been a while. And everybody else who's still out, we're going to, again, as I told Iceman Dan, we're going to do Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes next. And on Saturday, 7 Pacific Standard Time, it's kind of roughly our start time. That's when we'll get that going. So yeah, thanks for coming out, and I hope you have a great week. Wow, that was 30 minutes over.